When Cameron was in Egypt's land, let my Cameron go.
Good morning, Pipe Smokers. It's Nathan here, and coming to you from my garage, office, parlor, manor, etc., etc. Enjoying a nice morning smoke with a cup of coffee. Thanking the Lord for a nice day. Still a little bit chilly out, but again, it's nothing like we haven't faced before recently, right? Some of you may have finally dug out from the snow since your area's not used to it. So, anyway, I am smoking out of my newly acquired KW. Right? Yeah. KW. This is that one that has some pretty cool little bird's eye on this side. So far, smoking pretty nice. Not too shabby. Anyway, so wanted to do a VR. I just got introduced to this site and this couple. 300 sub for it was KiltedPiperSteve and Ms Cathy, and watched their GAW video. This is my first exposure to them, and I felt, and I'm sure that a lot of you who've watched this channel at times, I felt like I had been invited into their living room to just shoot the breeze with them. It was in some ways akin to sitting down with my grandparents when they were still here. Just lovely couple, and just really nice. Oh, I forgot to tell you, in my pipe, boy, got halfway through housekeeping. It's almost like my actual chores in the house. Halfway through and forget to do the rest. Bag End from Country Squire. So, back to it. And they're just super, super nice couple. And they hit their 300 subscribers and decided they wanted to do a GAW. And Ms Cathy is into some leather work apparently, and made an absolutely lovely looking pipe roll. And so this is my submission for it, because one, I'd like to have it, but two, I'd just like to get in on celebrating that channel and the talents of Ms Cathy, and just support their channel. And they were asking to comment with someone who has inspired you. Now, this is a monumental task to narrow down to one, much less 10. I mean, it's just an immense topic for most people anyway. because we find them all in various sorts. And I could easily say my dad, my grandfather, my mother, my grandmother, they all, my siblings as well. They've all made tremendous impressions on me. And my life experiences that the Lord's put in front of me to build me into the person that stands here before you, and there will be future individuals who will continue to build me up, and that's really encouraging, because we've all got a lot of room to grow. One in particular that I wanted to call out this particular time, my wife and we've been attending our church. I've been a part of it, this particular church, my whole life. My wife has been there as long as we've been together, for 16 years now, and we really started going back into attendance with the church. So around the time my youngest daughter was born, it just kind of clicked that we needed to give both of our children not that we weren't believers at all, but just that we needed to get them involved in the church. And the more we got involved, the more I got involved with the men of the church, and we had this men's breakfast that we'd always attend, and there was always a gentleman there. He's home with the Lord now, Gary, and very diminutive guy, probably was around 5'4", 5'5", very, very small guy, weighed about as much as a dry sponge when he was soaking wet, and just an absolutely phenomenal person. Always talked about the attitude and how important it was to be set right in your attitude. And he was absolutely right. Attitude means so much, and it matters so much for your own peace. And that was a big deal to him. And over the course of the relationship, he was an older guy, and he eventually came down with Legionnaire's disease. Well, when he was coming down with Legionnaire's disease, he had been waiting to get his, I think it was a knee replacement. Well, at the same time that his knee needed replacing, he started developing back issues and had to get his back fused. And so he had all these medical things piling up all over the place. Ended up getting through Legionnaire's, and was diagnosed with heart failure. And so he had to deal with that. And, just all sorts of things. So the last 5 years of his life, he just was, Lord put him through the ringer, tested him, and he came forth as gold, I'm telling you. And so, we talk every now and again, and I'd say, "Hey, Gary, how you doing?" "Yeah, well, Nathan, I'm doing all right. Don't have leprosy yet." The perspective was he just about contracted everything else, but he didn't have leprosy, so he was real pleased about that. And it was his way of just saying, what, there's nothing to complain about. Nothing at all. And if someone could, he could reserve the right to, I guess, in some regards. because he'd been put through it. But he didn't complain. And that was really inspiring to me. My mom used to drum into me that, you can complain all you want. Not many people are going to care. And at the same time, what are you going to do about it? And Gary had the same attitude. It's the right attitude. Complaining isn't going to get you very far. So, it might get you some sympathy, but how far does that sympathy really take you, right? How long does that last? Does it build you through the days? Not a bit. Getting through it does. That's what Gary's point was. So I'd call him up. I said, "Hey, Gary, we missed your church this week. I wanted to check and see how you were doing." And his response was always, "Well, Nathan, we got so-and-so at the church. She's not doing too well. We need to pray for her. Just lift her up in the comfort of the Lord. And so-and-so over here, they're having some difficulties. We need to be thinking about them too." And so the first 20 minutes of the conversation, kid you not, was talking about everybody at the church, how they were doing. And his heart for them was to lift them up. He was always that guy. And then finally, 20 minutes into the call, we'd finally get back to him. And I said, "Now, Gary, I'm not arguing at all with any of these prayers. How are you?" Like, "I don't have leprosy, Nathan." And his complaining would only go so far as every now and again he'd look at me and just say, "Well, Nathan, getting old ain't for sissies." And that was as far as it went with him. He was really, really a wonderful person. I know that will get to reunite with him in glory and just have a good time with him. I look forward to it. He's been with the Lord for about 4 years now, I think. And I miss him. I miss those little conversations. But it was inspiring, not to complain. But his heart for others was the most inspiring. He didn't, he knew we were all praying for him and he wasn't concerned about it. He appreciated it. But he was a pay it forward kind of guy. You pray for others first. You lift them up in the Lord. And just absolutely fantastic. Taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about how to really minister to people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be ministering from a physical or a financial perspective, but it really mattered to minister in the spiritual perspective. It really mattered to him. So, that's my friend Gary. One of the most inspirational men I've ever met. So, congratulations, Steve and Ms Cathy, on your 300 subs. Look forward to sitting down with you in your living room some more as I watch some more of your videos. Really appreciate the GAW. More important, really appreciate you guys. So, anyway, love everybody. Count your blessings. Be thankful for them. When all that's said and done, grace and peace to you.